about what's happening around you. That's why you need VOP this morning, because we will climb this far to give you a voice in what's going on, from news, reviews, politics and the economy, sports, and even entertainment. Join us weekdays, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. right here on VOP TV. VOP TV. Now you have more than a voice.
All right, good morning to you, Lagos. Good morning, world. Good morning, Nigeria. It's a rainy day, a rainy Tuesday morning, and well, the rains have been long expected, if you ask me, because the weather has been hot, like really hot, and it feels good to feel, you know, the cold drops, raindrops on your head, on my head. Felt good this morning. Welcome to VOP this morning. I'm Moses Humphrey.
I'm Fina Okechukwu. Good morning, Lagos. Good morning, Nigeria. Yeah, talking about the rain, I know you will like it.
Of course I do.
So you feel like going back again under the rain?
Well, I have to make money first.
Well, good morning. I'm Masinachi Okafor. I love rainy season, but I mean, this one caught me unaware.
Oh,
Yes, because I was inside the bus and then it started raining. I was like, oh my God, what's going to happen right now? I don't have any umbrella. So if you know that you don't have your umbrella and you're watching us and you're still home, try as much as possible to go out today with your umbrella. It's very important.
And not just that, for women also who always move around, make sure you have your shower cap, make sure you have everything you need to cover yourself to avoid story that touches. The rainy season
This
is
is
here.
where it feels good to be a man.
Right?
Move. Just move. All right then. Well, let's look at a few things we're talking about this morning. The president has said, well, the president has halted fuel subsidy. Well, no, that's not the way it is, right?
Okay, how is it?
It says fuel hike. Tinubu halted fuel subsidy without looking at the consequences. These are words of Usman Bugaji. Yes, and I would also be looking at the state of the nation.
As hardship on the rise, unemployment rate increases significantly.
Oh yes, oh yes.
Well, these are the stories that we are tracking today, this morning. But before we get into discussion, we'll encourage you to click on that button on YouTube. Go on YouTube and click on the subscription button on YouTube. We are at Voice of the People TV, and on other social media platforms, we are at VOP TV Live. And of course, we have Mr. Lawal Ekundaya, who is an educationist and a public affairs commentator. Along the line on the show, we're going to be having Mr. John Akerele. Yeah, but you know what? Good morning, Mr. Lawal.
Good morning.
How are you doing this morning? You're all smiling and it feels like you won a lottery this morning.
Yes, I have hope. So I guess I have hope.
Renewed one? Renewed
it's not
hope, right?
renewed hope. It's just a hope that's been there a long time ago.
Oh.
And I'm still holding on to it.
It's
All
a
right,
great
that's
thing.
good. That's good to know.
Oh, yeah.
Well, now let's dive into the papers. Let's look at
Yeah.
stories that made it to the cover pages of the dailies. What papers are we starting with?
So we're taking a punch from the Punch newspaper this morning.
Go right ahead.
And the banner headline says, Labour mobilizes for protest. Tanker drivers strike triggers fuel queues. The subrider says, FG meets drivers. Filling stations shut in Abuja, Kano, Ogun. Atman urges dialogue. NLC adamant. Workers vow to join demonstration as Oyo protesters lament hunger. On top of the nameplate, we have EFCC detains ex-Para governor Ahmed over alleged 10 billion naira fraud. Asovilla DHQ CBN faced disconnection over 47 billion naira debt. Senate asks FIRS to suspend 17 trillion naira tax waivers. Moving on, we have a picture here of protesters carrying placards and all of that. Moving on, 50 Niger Republic bound food trucks intercepted in Zamfara. Lion kills OAU veterinary worker during feeding. Cement manufacturers list conditions to crash Sterling fries. And that's all we have this morning from the Punch newspaper. Which of those topics would you want to react to?
The headline in that newspaper,
Okay.
the protest.
Yeah.
We've said it's gradually building up. Again, because people are getting confident when they don't have another choice. You take the only choice you have, and that the only choice is for them to go on street.
Peacefully,
What do you mean by peacefully?
not spoiling things.
No, they won't spoil things, but in their mind they are not peaceful, and they don't want the government to be peaceful. That's
No,
why they are
well,
on strike.
the-
But they won't damage anything. They won't vandalize.
That's the important thing.
They won't
I
vandalize.
think
But
the
if you-
people are just making their grievances known, letting the government know.
Yes.
Like if you recall, when the president was driving through Lagos Island sometime in December,
Yes, last
these
year.
chants were evidence.
For
People
the
were
first time.
saying we are hungry, we are hungry. And well, don't you think it feels like the Nigerians feel the president hasn't been listening? So now they're taking to the streets to let the president know that, look, we are hungry. But there's another school of thought that is pandering things like this might be politically motivated. Do you think so?
Maybe
Do you
they
think
don't
so?
go to market, or maybe they don't.
I'm just asking for your personal view. now.
No, I'm asking maybe they don't go to market, or maybe they don't have children that are at school.
So
or maybe they don't have
with members of the APC saying that this is motivated by the PDP, you don't
that's
support
rhetoric.
that.
That's rhetoric. They are reading from the lines. They are just reading a script. Because that's why I say maybe they don't go to the market. Because if you go to market and you see yesterday you bought something and today you want to buy the same thing you have made, you take the budget there and they told you that it has increased by 50% or 100%, you will cry because you know that yesterday you bought the same thing. Today, okay, look at cement.
Is it really yesterday?
No, look at the case of cement. So those people say the APC saying that
Yeah.
they don't know about the cement case or the rice case.
Do you think the people who are protesting that the government actually is listening to the voice of Nigerians? Because we could remember what happened in Niger State where police actually arrested some of the people that came out to protest.
You know, we said it earlier. You see, when the government has no plan, has no what to do again, they resort into intimidation. You get it. Instead of you to listen and say, okay, we are going to look into this, set up committee, and the next thing people are seeing the effect of the committee, that there's a progress, and then they calm down. You now resort into intimidation. Okay, if we put police on the street, police arrest few people, the others will be scared, they will not be, they won't want to come out. That's what they tried in that Niger issue. But you see, people don't care anymore. That's why yesterday you see the protest in Oyo State, we've seen in Ekiti, Osun, you've seen in, it's getting, people are daring whatever the government wants to throw out now.
Oh.
You get it? That's what is happening. Now, Labour is planning its own big strike and people are already queuing at that. The tanker drivers wants to go on strike.
Not to say
and
that
they
the strike
said they are not
commenced yesterday.
listening.
Yeah, because I
And
know
not only said
people who bought
yesterday.
a liter of fuel for 1,200 yesterday.
So where do you think we go from here?
What do you think we go from here? The thing is this, if, like we said earlier on, if you are not getting it, the simple thing is to do the needful.
Which is?
Step down. That's
All right.
it.
Well, we don't. If the president or the presidency, as it is now, steps down, who then do you think should occupy that place? Should we hold fresh elections?
That's not, see, I've seen in pockets of countries that are doing fantastic, they hold fresh elections. They hold.
So should we hold fresh elections?
Why not?
Okay.
It's not about one person. It's about the whole country. You get? What about, we don't want crisis.
But then if you are holding fresh elections, wouldn't it be the same politicians contesting? Oh,
See, people are looking at the holistic of Nigerian system. The INEC, the judiciary, the reps, the governors, the system, the constitution. So they are looking at it holistically now because they are not looking at it as one particular pocket of issue. They are seeing it as a generalized issue now. So you are not going to solve one particular aspect. You are going to look at it holistically. And you deal with all the issues together. You know, we are saying that the House is not making the appropriate laws to put the executive in their positions. The judiciary, you get, are under the executive. So there's what do I say, pampering of law. Should I use that word?
You are liberty to use the word you choose to use.
You get it. In which you see judgment here and there, the same judgment. You get like the one that happened in the Kano, this guy Yusuf case. He gets an embarrassment. So people now see it around the whole thing that, okay, it's not it's just not one area. It's like we have it almost in all areas. So we need to look at everything together. And that is the solution.
All right then. Well, personally, I would like to react to the cement manufacturers pegging the price of cement for between 7,000 and 8,000 naira. And this headline from the Punch reads: cement manufacturers list conditions to crush spiraling price. Well, I guess when those conditions are met, we'll probably have a reduction in price. But right probably. But right now, it sits at 7,000, 8,000 naira.
10,000. Some are already
No.
buying
They've pegged it.
Pegging
To
it?
not go beyond this for now.
Let me tell
7,000,
you.
8,000.
You are talking about the official one. It's like the same thing with dollar now. You are talking about official rate, you are talking about black market.
Manufacturers are saying we are not going to increase it beyond.
What about the sellers? Do you think, what about their transportation? What about the other things that come into those
So
distributors?
it now boils down to people regulating this.
The price, and the president actually says he's not going to do anything like price control. So do you think this is going to be effective?
That's what I'm telling him now. Because by the time the manufacturer say, okay, we are pegging it at 8,000, you now give it to the dealers. So they are not going to have their transport fare. They are not going to have their own costs. They are not going to have their own feeding and everything. They are running costs.
Do you think it is important for us now to have price control in this country? What
It is the duty of the government to regulate, to control price. That is why we have government. It is the duty.
All right, then let's get into another paper now. Let's look at the Vanguard newspaper. The banner headline here reads: Forex crisis, 2024 budget suffers dislocation. Subriders benchmark exchange rate now half the value. Revenue expenditure estimates unrealistic. Analysts see profligacy pushing up deficits to 20 trillion naira. All right. On top of the nameplates, 92% of Nigerian workers in informal employment, NBS. Edo 2024, APC youths, women take over secretariat, one sack of SWC. With the sub-riders, I won APC primaries with over 6,000 votes. Okwebolo. Dekeri storms Gandhiji's office, demands certificate of return. Drama. As Imuse congratulates Idahosa, 3 candidates from the same party. Interesting times. FG cement manufacturers agree on 7,000, 8,000 for 50 kg bag. That's what we're discussing earlier.
Yeah.
Wale Adun Cardoso, SEC management team visits Wigwe's parents. All right. When you go further down, you see Senate kicks against 17 trillion naira loss on tax waivers. ECOWAS crisis. Gowon turns down FG. ECOWAS invitation to speak on issue. Electricity. Forex crisis. Inflation push meter prices up by 80%. And of course, the protest, the picture from the protest that took place in Ibadan yesterday is right there, splashed on the cover page. And then we also have in sports, we have 2025 AFCON draw holds in Cairo today. Okay. Suspected armed headers invade 3 Benue LGs, kill 10, injure others. Kidnappers abduct 9 passengers in Kogi, demand 30 million naira. Now, these are the headlines that you would find on the cover page of the Vanguard newspaper. Oh, well.
Before I continue, I want to talk about that crisis, the forest fire. But before that,
Okay.
I want to ask you, what is the excuse, the reason for increasing cement price? I want to, did they give any reason? Because everything that they use in making the cement is in Nigeria. So I don't know what happens, whether you get. So what is their excuse for increasing the price? Why is the government telling them to peg it at 7,000, 8,000 when there's no reason, there's no justification for the increment in the first place? Because everything, almost everything they use is from the ground. So why are you increasing it? So why is government pegging it when there's no justification for increment in the first place? They should tell us why they increase it.
We need answers.
You are not pegging it. That's why I said that thing is it's not going to work. Second, let's look at that forest crisis. I wonder why the government has not declared state of emergency on this dollar crisis.
Now, when people talk about declaration of state of emergency, what exactly would happen when a declaration has been made?
That means there will be more focus. There will be more focus in that area than other areas. That's why they say state of emergency. There's a problem. Like you have houses and there's a fire in one house. Everybody will run to that area. You see how people shout and cry. There's an attention in that. The press will run to that place. The police, the fire brigade, everybody will be there.
We've asked. I mean, the reason I said that is because we've talked about insecurity in certain parts of the country. We've said, oh, declare state of emergency in this state because of insecurity, and then curfew is declared. State of emergency is declared. People are restricted from going from place to place. But then perpetrators are not apprehended. It stays the same. The situation stays the same. And after a while, curfew is, lifted, state of emergency is dropped, and it's back to normal.
Why that one is not working? Why that one is not working is because there's no resource control. There's no state and local government police. See, they will just, if you declare state of emergency in one state, they will simply just move to another state and continue their work while you are in one state.
Okay.
But at the being we have state policing, everybody will police his own border. So you see, by the time you declare state of emergency in one state, it will be difficult for criminals to move to another state because the states in that area will mobilize
Against
their border.
Okay. Now let's talk about the forex issue.
Declare state of emergency. And let us see what exactly is causing, because most of us know what is causing that area. We already have people, we already have institutions that are supposed to take care of
are you saying declare a state of emergency in electricity as well?
Yes.
Because that's the forex crisis that we're talking about. Forex crisis, inflation pushed meter price by 80%.
Let me tell you something. Those one, we already know that in electricity, that one is a scam. I'll use the word scam.
How so?
It's a scam. You get it? Because it's like your phone. When the price of phone increases, government is not talking about it. The price of phone decreases, nobody is talking about it. Because there's a market, there's a market forces in that area. Everybody sells what you buy. You want more customers, you reduce your profits. You get so, but when it comes to meter, the question is, what is the business of NEC, regulatory body, deciding how much the customers buy meter? What is your business in that area? Why are you the one telling us the amount we are going to buy meter? Are you the one importing it? Are you the one selling it? Then why do we have to pay the discos? Because we want to buy meter from a company that is selling meter. What's your own business there? Why do you have people? I mean, sorry, I want to use should I use the word dealers?
Is it not so that certain individuals don't take advantage of the public Isn't that why they're saying, okay, you're letting not be
You see,
more than certain amount?
no, it's because the government wants to control that area. You get it? That is why. NEC has no business in all this. Your own is to make laws and regulate the two parties. You get, you are an umpire. You want to regulate the two parties. You have the consumers, you have the service providers, and you want to regulate the two. You get, and you are now the one fixing prepaid meter for the consumers to buy. And the same prepaid meter is the property of the supplier. And you are telling the consumer to buy the properties for the supplier. And after buying it, it automatically becomes the property of the discos. And you are telling me you are an umpire. So how are you an umpire there? You're supposed to give everybody, you're supposed to allow people to go to the market and buy their prepaid meter. I can buy it from anywhere. I can even tell somebody from abroad to send me prepaid meter, just like your laptop or phone. Somebody can send you phone from abroad. You don't even pay anything, and what you need is just your SIM. Put your SIM inside. These prepaid meters, they use SIM, just like your phone. So what I need to get from the discos is just for them to come and connect it.
Okay.
So why is NEC the one deciding how much? Are you the one going abroad, or what? Are you what's your business in this area? And the same prepaid meter, when the consumers finish buying it, it automatically becomes the property of the discos. How is that? Where is that happening? You are telling me it's not scam?
All right then.
You know, you made mention of a state of emergency to be declared on dollar. Now, I want to ask, if we say we are placing state of emergency on dollar, what about other foreign currencies that are actually going high? Because we're here talking about dollar, we're crying about dollar, but pounds is actually moving to another direction.
Together.
You know, because we spend more, we trade more in dollars.
Many people are not even using some people who are into importation now, they are actually using the currency of a particular country where they want to do the importation from. Yeah, for people from Vietnam, they do that. And so many other places. So if we say dollar, we are putting state of emergency on you now, this, then what happened to other currencies?
That's why it's forex. We need to, if you have state of emergency in that area, the government will now look at how to regulate it in such a way that the thing will now come down. We know we are talking about ECOWAS. Look at what is happening. That ECOWAS, I've told you, there will be more crises in ECOWAS. There will be more. You know, we've been saying this, and crises keep coming up. You know what? Because, like I said earlier on, Nigeria is a major problem of ECOWAS.
Why do you say so?
I'll not stop saying it, because the purpose of ECOWAS was, first of all, defeated by Nigeria by closing your border. You get? You don't close your border in this modern world.
Okay. All right, let's get into another paper now.
Let's look at the Guardian newspaper, and the banner headline says FG grants 4 trillion naira tax credit in 5 years as inflation threatens scheme. We also have a pictorial that actually talks about Nigeria needs 438 trillion naira investment in infrastructure over the next 10 years. We have this says a protest over hardship spread to Oyo as 26 million Nigerians grapple with hunger. Zulum sacks IDP camp boss for wash facility diversion. Unemployment rate rose by 5% in third quarter of 2023, says NBS. Senate plays a 17 trillion naira loss to tax waivers, orders halt. Panic on OAU campus as lion kills zookeeper, injures others. EFCC grills Kwara ex-governor for alleged financial impropriety. Okay, you can get that on page 28. Naira drops to new all-time low at black market trades at 1,730 naira per dollar. And the last but not the least says, how insecurity hunger threatens Nigerians' existence. That's actually the last story on the Guardian newspaper. I was reading out the stories that made the headlines, and you were like, so that shows have something you want to say.
Yes, so that's how insecurity, hunger threaten Nigerians' existence. It's threatening Nigerians' existence because people are beginning to feel like, why? Okay, what is that? Why are we? What exactly? They begin to ask that question. What exactly is Nigeria? Because when you are in a country, you socialize because you feel secure. Now, the first thing is that's security. The moment there's insecurity, you begin to ask, why do I need to socialize with you when there is I'm not feeling safe? It's a serious issue, and that's why you see the people who are getting agitated. Protests are coming up here and there. You see people complaining seriously of insecurity and hunger, insecurity and hunger, insecurity and hunger. That's what they are talking about. It's a serious issue. And I wish the government will actually really look. The government should stop playing politics. We can play, if you want to settle your members, there are so many things you can use to settle them instead of political posts. Somebody who's not qualified to handle a political post, you shouldn't give it to that person because you want to settle the person as a politician. You can give that person some other things.
Are you of the opinion that the appointees we have now in government are cases of a round peg?
Yes, many of them supposed to be. Many of them have issues with EFCC. Many of them have questionable past this thing. What
but it did not start this present administration. Even last administration also have something like that.
And then should we now make it a norm? Should we now continue so that the next administration that's coming in should pack people who are facing criminal charges and whatever, put them in the next government because it's now a norm. Can't you find a way to stop it at once? Somebody should come on board and put an end to this so that we can move forward.
You mentioned initially that if the presidency does not have anything, or if they are kind of stuck and do not have ways to make sure that the country moves forward, it's better they step down. So would you rather they step down now, or would you rather they get people of good hands that would be able to work on Nigeria right now?
Have a plan, a roadmap. Come out, let Nigerians know you have a plan. You get, that is another problem. People are not seeing that the government has a plan. Come and let us see you have a plan. And give us a timeline. In the next 3 months, in the next 2 months, in the next 5 months, we are going to do this. And then they will now start seeing you have started.
So that means you rather they have a plan than step down?
At least no. That should be the last. If after that you see that you cannot perform, you are not performing as expected, then you step down. It's going on. It happened in India now. They did this, what do we call it? Election before the time. It happens in Europe. The moment they see that the government is not getting it right, they will do election. When there's a protest and the house is complaining about it, they will just call for a new election and test the popularity of the government. Now, if you want to do a referendum, let us test the popularity of the government, whether the people want the government to continue or they don't want the government to continue. Maybe the press will go and do the opinion testing of the people. And let's see.
Okay.
All right, then. Well, that's how far we can go with the newspaper review. Let's get into our talking points this morning.
Up next on VOP this morning, former member of the House of Representatives, Usman Bugaji, has said Tinubu had no preparation before announcing the removal of fuel subsidy that has triggered an economic crisis in the country. Details when we return.
Where your morning